This podcast is part of the Podcast Arcade Network.
Hello and welcome to the Covert Nerd Podcast. Thank you for listening. It means a lot to me that you take the time out of your day to hear what I have to say. Before you start the episode, if you really like this episode and know somebody else that might like this topic, please take a second, pause the podcast, and share it with a friend. I would really appreciate it. Without further ado, let's dive right in and nerd it up with Dan and Heroquest. Covert Nerd fans, we've got Dan here, and just a quick story on him. I posted a question in Facebook, and about talking about Heroquest, and Dan was quick to respond. He's a big fan of Heroquest, so I invited him to come on the show and talk about the passion of Heroquest. And I imagine if you're listening right now, because you saw the title of the episode, you're a fan too. And so we're just going to talk a little bit about Heroquest. Thanks, Dan, for coming on. I appreciate it.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
Dan, let us know. I always ask this to people that have played Heroquest. When did you first see Heroquest, and what really grabbed your attention when you first saw it? So kind of take us back in a time machine to when you were a young kid and when you saw it.
Yeah, we're going back in a time machine for sure. We're going back to what year was that? Was that 89?
Came out in 89, but if you're like me, I didn't catch it for about another year or so. But you might be different.
Okay. Yeah, that Christmas of 89, my best friend in elementary school, Peter, actually picked up a copy and invited me over, and we played Quest 1, and that's all it took, was that one quest. So that was, I believe, Christmas of 89. So I, of course, got Christmas money like every 13-year-old boy gets, because, mom and dad don't know what to buy their 13-year-old boy for Christmas. I took my $20, and I think it was on an end cap at the Target at the registers. You know those end caps at the registers where they normally have like Blu-rays and stuff nowadays?
Yep, your $5 DVDs and stuff. Yep.
Exactly. So I picked up my copy, and my sister, 4 years younger than me at the time, about 9 years old, we just, she played all the heroes. I played Zargon. Every now and then the Barbie Ferrari would run over the board and scatter the pieces.
It's a magic Barbie truck.
Yes. Came and crushed the castle that is Heroquest. So and we did actually play a number of times, pretty much all of the quests, I think, all of the 14 original quests. We get older, we go to high school, we move on. And then about 2000, I picked it up out of the closet again, invited some friends over, and we would do every Friday night at my house. Everybody grab a frozen pizza or a 2-liter, bring it over. And so we had a regular group that met for about 10, 12 quests. And then in years since, I would say about 2000, we'd get a group together, we'd do Quest 1. Maybe if we had time, we'd do Quest 2. Hey, you guys want to meet up again? Oh, we don't have time. It would die again. Did that twice in the past, I would say 3, 4, 5 years. And then just recently over the summer, because of COVID, we pulled it out of the closet again. And, long story short, my daughter is, I co-parent. And so my daughter, she's now 15. Because of COVID, she's been home a lot. And so social interaction, it's non-existent. So we've been safe, of course, about our Heroquest nights. But during the summertime, we would sit outside on the back deck, and we got a group of friends together. And we met, and it was fun. And we met again, and it was fun. And actually just a week ago, last Friday, we played quest number 1 of Keller's Keep. We made it through the original quest book. We're in the Keller's Keep, and we're moving forward. And we're going to meet again next Friday. And so, it's back.
Is it all adults?
Yeah. Well, except for my 15-year-old daughter. She's the youngest one of all of us. I'm the oldest, so I typically run the Zargon the Zargon role. Yeah, we've stuck together. We've, of course, got our house rules. We bring a pizza. We do the 2-liter thing. It's just like being a teenager again. It's great.
Teenager all over again. What's some of the reaction you get from some of the adults when you or or anybody, I guess, when you introduce it to them? Is it just like, wow, this is kind of cool. When did this come out? Or what kind of reaction have you heard from people?
There's been so many games that have been invented since then, and I'm a Gen Con veteran, so I've seen
Oh, nice.
every game known to man. I've been to every Gen Con that's existed since 1997, except I missed 2009, but there's 20 some years worth of Gen Cons there where I've seen it all. But you still, for some reason, just don't see HeroQuest. So typically what I hear when I pull that out of the closet is they go, oh my God, I knew somebody, or I had that when I was a kid,
Yep.
or my buddy had that. And we get into it, and it's the wow factor kind of goes away. You just get into the dungeon and you just go and you do your thing and you split up and you play
Yeah.
the game. The whole nostalgia factor kind of goes away. It's there. It's that atmosphere, of course, but you just jump in and just play, and that's all
Yeah.
there is.
I'm sure you've seen it. The simplicity of it is easy for people to grasp. That's what, at least what grabbed me when I was a kid, and maybe the same thing to you too. It's very simple, and so you can bring in maybe somebody that hasn't ever played any type of RPG, and within 5-10 minutes, they know what to do. It's not difficult. It's not rocket science.
No, it's not exactly. I'm a 26-year veteran of Magic the Gathering. When Magic gets frustrating, this is my go-to. This is a break from the norm that is Magic. You don't have the conflict that you would have in a Magic situation. Just, yet again, you just sit, you just play. I mean, it's as simple as that.
You talked about your 9-year-old sister. I think 8-year-olds, 9-year-olds can easily pick this up and play it, and an adult dad can play it with their kid, and it's fine. It'll work.
Yeah,
and it's fun.
Been a bonding experience for my daughter and I, for sure, especially during such a challenging time.
Exactly. Speaking of house rules, I guess tell the listener then maybe some of the fun house rules you've seen over the years or that you've come up with.
The house rules are, you kind of, you find the loopholes in the armory, in the text on in the gear and the weapons. As much as I'd like to say the greatest thing about HeroQuest is the broadsword, it's not. The greatest thing about HeroQuest is every character except for the wizard having 2 long swords and 2 crossbows.
Ah, there you go.
So that's our most pleasurable house rule that we have.
Awesome. I love
so
that.
Needless to say, Quest 1 of Keller's Keep, everybody just sort of mows through like the Terminator. They've got their crossbows and they're taking dudes out left and right, and
Yes.
and they keep going. Well, but it's not easy, or it's too easy. It's not difficult anymore. And I'll go, just wait. There's stuff coming. It's down the road, but it's coming.
I got plans.
That's right.
That's awesome. I'm assuming as a kid, when you saw that blank map in the back, I mean, that probably, if you're like most kids, that just was sparked so many ideas and characters and crossbows and all sorts of things, right?
Too many crossbows. Absolutely. And the character names. Oh my God, the character names that I've seen over the years. Jeeves the dwarf was our best dwarf ever. It was back when Ask Jeeves was actually a thing. Remember that back in the day?
Oh, man.
Yep. So Jeeves the dwarf.
If you're listening and you're in your early 20s, you probably have no idea what we're talking about.
Oh, no. Yeah, we're showing our age. I mean, when I was 13, Heroquest came out. I'll let you do the math.
Yeah, you can do the math. Yeah. Well, what about the expansions? Let's talk about the expansions that HeroQuest came out with. Tell us some stories about the ones you got, maybe when you got them, and some stories that go along with those.
That was probably about the time when our Toys R Us came to town. Actually, it had been around a couple of years. So of course, the Toys R Us has a pretty good selection. So we got our Keller's Keep and our Return of the Witch Lord.
Yep.
And my dad used to travel for work. He was a systems analyst for an insurance company, so he would travel to New Hampshire to work in the New Hampshire branch office. So as a almost completionist, HeroQuest was one of those things that I was a completionist about. So my dad actually had an opportunity he got off work. He left the office. The Toys R Us was down the street. He walked into the Toys R Us, and here's the Barbarian Quest pack. And he knew that my sister and I played all the time. He was just observant like that. He calls up my mom, and mom goes, "Hey, Danny, do you need there's this other Quest pack. Your dad's at the Toys R Us. Should I have him pick it up? Do they have them both? Get them both." And a lot of the collection, like all my these are my Transformers from when I was a kid. So my Heroquest that I play with now is the Heroquest that I had when I was a kid. So of course, I still have all 4 of those Quest packs from when I was a kid. I didn't like grow up to an adult and go, "Hey, I want to play Heroquest again. Oh, time to go to eBay and pick up a $200 copy of the base set."
Yes.
No, I lucked out. My parents were the parents that kept my stuff. They weren't the parents that threw away my stuff or sold my Star Wars figures on the garage sale. So I was lucky enough
garage
to have
sale for $1, you know. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yes.
So yeah, I was one of the lucky few that was able to maintain my collection over the years, and my collection was complete as far as a U.S. set goes.
US, yeah. I love that, man. You're the envy of HeroQuest fans all over the world that have the Barbarian and the Elf Quest. Oh my gosh. I can't believe it. Yeah, they're going, like you said, $600, $700, $800. Those are going for on eBay. It's insane.
Oh boy, and probably even higher now after COVID, because I worked at a video game store, and there was a while there during the beginning of COVID where we couldn't keep anything on the shelves. People were scooping up anything they can or anything they could because they knew that they were going to be at home, and they're going to be home with the kids. What better way to burn an entire evening, but with Quest 1 out of that base set? Like, that's an entire evening.
Yeah. I assume you and your sister got through both Elf and Barbarian Quest.
No, we never made it that far. So my group right now, we're going to do Keller's Keep. We're going to do Return of the Witch Lord. Then we're going to do Elf. And I've never touched ever either of the Elf or Barbarian Quest books. So, and my group knows this. So we have a lot. Like I said, we have a lot to look forward to. And yes, you may have 2 crossbows, pew, pew, pew. You may have 2 long swords. You might be able to attack diagonally for 6 with 6 attack dice. Oh, wait, you took a heroic brew or a potion of strength.
Yeah.
No, we got stuff coming. The gargoyle does still scare them, but the frost beasts and the wolf riders, that'll give them something to worry about.
Oh man, I'm jealous. That's awesome that you have those. Oh, that's so cool though that they're in pristine condition. And I assume what happened there? Just you guys kind of just grew out of HeroQuest and just never got around to it.
Well, HeroQuest came out when I was 13, so you got high school right around the corner. So high school turns into a thing, and I actually I became a comic book fan right about that same time. So that's kind of, rather than playing with my sister, and my sister was a girl, she was getting into that tween age. I'm not playing these stupid games with you, big brother. Oh, well then who do I play with? Everybody's now we're 16 and we're working jobs, and
got prom to go to, and all the stuff that just goes with being a teenager. Yep. And nerdy me, I'm reading comic books and getting into, I picked up my first Magic card in 1995. So really that was only 6 years after HeroQuest. So, and Magic is all consuming. It's consumed a lot of my life. That's a whole nother story to get into, and a whole nother time. Sure. Well, let's talk about the figures, because that is just one of the things that's awesome about HeroQuest. What are some of the best figures, in your opinion, that, since you have all 4 expansions, what are some of the best figures that you like? Why do you like them?
I hate to quote the guy from the video, but the gargoyle really is pretty amazing. Yeah. He is one of the greatest things about HeroQuest. As a 13-year-old, you're still kind of in touch with your imagination. So that gargoyle, working in game stores for nearly half my life, I've been exposed to a lot of Warhammer and Fantasy Warhammer and 40K. So and Pathfinder, not Pathfinder. I got Pathfinder mixed up with Privateer Press. Privateer Press, and I know people that do painting and they've won awards, and so it's hard to look at that stuff and then look at a HeroQuest model and go, so we've relied a lot on our imaginations, and I can almost close my eyes and I can almost put myself into the shoes of those hero figures while I'm standing there with that gargoyle in front of me, going, I'm so dead because this is quest 1 and all I have is a short sword.
Yes, exactly.
So as much as I look at those miniatures, I've been spoiled by being surrounded by Privateer Press and Games Workshop materials for most of my adult life. And so really HeroQuest was all just about, for me actually, as a Magic player, the art, the box art was my thing. So really, the game was one thing, the art's another, and that's the way I treat Magic. I'm a huge art collector. I have a lot of friends that are artists with the game, met a number of them, and I've befriended them over the years, and so that art is really something that I've grasped onto as well as the game. So when people say, Dan, you're so frustrated with Magic, why don't you just get out? Well, because this art is my thing. And HeroQuest, for me, was probably what inspired my love for the art of Magic, because that Les Edwards cover is just so nowadays so very iconic. I mean, you see that, and there are people my age that'll go, I know what that's from. I can't pinpoint it. I know I've seen that before. Yeah, you saw it on the end cap at Target in 1989 at Christmas time. You may have even had a copy.
Yeah, you're right. Les Edwards art, just iconic. And I would assume that, like for you, you said that was kind of the air quotes here, gateway drug into fantasy for you. Is that right?
Yes, it was. Absolutely. That and the Eye of the Beholder computer games. I've never, ever rolled a die to create a D&D character, but that was my gateway into the D&D realm. So, like, I've got all these friends that have done illustrations for Magic the Gathering. Well, typically the gateway into Magic is doing a character in a monster compendium for D&D. And actually, I don't have my T-shirt. I got to do a little Christopher Burdett shout out. He's done a number of illustrations for D&D, and he'll say, so tell me about your character. I don't have a character. I've never had a character. I've never played actual D&D. I've only played the computer games, but HeroQuest. And that's a conversation starter right there. You say HeroQuest, and it takes people to a whole different plane. And you can go on and on and on for hours and hours and hours about D&D, but there's something about that first game of HeroQuest. It's that warm chicken soup feeling inside, because we first started playing it at Christmas time. It was cold, and we got down and dirty with it in the middle of winter. And I don't know, there's just something that it's a thing.
That's exactly right. You just, all of a sudden you're sucked back to 1989 again, or, wherever you were when you first saw it, when you first played it, and you're a kid again. And it's simple. It's fun. And like you said, you can pick it up now, almost 30 years later, you can pick it up out of the closet and play with somebody, and they'll have a blast. You'll have a blast. And it's memory making all over again. It's like you're 13 all over again.
Exactly.
It just has that pull. And, we're both in an online, Facebook group that has just some of these wonderful people that have, expound on it. They make their own cards. They make their own characters. They paint their figures. They have these rules. They have tiles. I mean, it's just, again, the community that surrounds that game is very inventive. I mean, the quests people come up with are just astounding. So I don't know how about you, quest making? Have you made any quests, or you got any stories about those?
No, I've never actually, because I figured we'd get to the end of it and we'd run out, and that's when we would go to the blank page and start creating our own. But there was just so much richness in the ones that existed. And to be honest with you, when we didn't quite finish all the quest packs, we didn't feel like the opportunity had presented itself yet. So maybe eventually, and then with, of course, the new version that's coming out here soon, there's going to be those quests in there, like Joe Manganiello is writing a quest, and that I'm very excited for that, because a dude knows his stuff. Like,
he does.
Yeah, like I've met Jeff Easley, and for him to have an original Jeff Easley Jeff Easley was a regular Gen Con for a number of years, and so when Joe Manganiello is bragging about how his wife Sofia Vergara commissioned a painting of his character with Jeff Easley, I'm going, I met that guy like all kinds of years ago. He's a little bit grumpy, so you just got to kind of.
Word of warning, huh?
It's just little word of warning if you meet Jeff Easley out in public. But the fact that Joe Manganiello was able to convince his wife to create a D&D cave out of one room, enough said. This guy's going to write a hell of a quest. So I'm really looking forward to that. That's for that. I do the visuals, like the graphic design thing. I've done my own share of illustration in my day, so I leave the quest writing to the others, and so I look forward to what is coming to us through that new version of the game.
Yeah, speaking of the new version, what is your 2 cents worth? I get the suspicion the Heroquest community is kind of split, but I don't mind it. But I guess what's your thoughts on the new reboot, revision, whatever you want to call it, that's coming out?
I'm so mixed. There's so many thoughts running through my head. Like, I'm one of the lucky few that still has his elf quest and his barbarian quest pack.
Yes.
And so I'm thinking, well, I don't need this new thing. And then they start rolling out all this stuff. And what's really strange is that if I'm excited for that set for any reason right now, it's that it comes with a ton of dice.
Yes.
I hate when we're all scraping together. We use the measly little 6 dice that come with the main set. Please, may I have a few more?
Have some more. Yes, exactly. And you have to pass the dice around. I don't know, when you played, you're like, oh, crap, I've got to pass them over here. Yeah.
Well, and right now we've got a gigantic dining room table that I use as my gaming table in my basement. And for us to actually fit around it, because the table is just big, we can expand it and shrink with a couple leaves, but still, even if the leaves are all folded in, it's a big table. So my daughter sits with the way that we compare, or the analogy that we use for this table is, when I'm sitting at the head of the table as Zargon, she's Kim Basinger's character in Batman when she says,
Batman, yep.
Mr. Wayne, will you please pass the salt? And so she's like 6 feet away, and we have to pass these dice around this massive table. And so a couple of us have actually just taken 6-sided dice and done the math on which side is which as compared to a HeroQuest white die. So now we just use those, but there's just something that doesn't feel right about that. Like, it has to be those little wooden white
the
dice
skulls
with the
and the shields
chipping off. The upside down, it looks like a bunny rabbit. Yep, exactly.
Yep. You're exactly right. No, I was excited. So as soon as I saw that, I'm like, nope, I gotta back this. There's no way I'm not going to back this. And they hit their goals so quickly. So I'm looking forward to it. So any of the naysayers out there, I'm like, no, we need a remake of this. We've been begging for this for decades, and we get it. And so how could you not be excited for it when it finally comes? That was my thought. We never
saw it coming. Like, wait a minute,
I know.
They're making HeroQuest again? What is this?
I know.
Duh. Why didn't you do this 10 years ago?
I just happened to see it on, I think, Twitter or something. I don't know where you first saw it at, but I just happened to bump into it.
Yeah, just stumbled upon it. No, actually, so I'm a member of this newsletter. I get this newsletter from ICV2, and they had a story about it. And they get all the down and dirty stuff. Like, okay, so there it is. So that's where I got it. And then I went to the little countdown page and went, wait, this is for real. Like, this is actually happening. Oh my
I know.
God. Like, and then I went online. I went to the Facebook page and I stumbled on the Facebook page that you and I met at. And I'm like, wait a minute, look at all these people and look at what all they're doing with this 3D printed boards and figures. And oh my God, this is so elaborate. Like, I'm totally jealous of all these people.
I know there's some extremely talented folks in the HeroQuest community. So that's what I really kind of like about that they've really dug into it and expounded on it and just have all these fun rules. And it's just really truly a good system to work within. Since you have your finger on the gaming community, have you ever met Steve?
No, I
forgot his last name now. The creator of it. I can't remember his last name now. Gosh.
HeroQuest is one of those things at Gen Con, the world's biggest tabletop gaming convention. But what's really funny about that is HeroQuest is a really obscure thing at Gen Con. The only place that you ever really see HeroQuest is if you go to the board game auction, where people, just everyday people, bring their stuff that they want to auction off. Gen Con gets a portion of the proceeds, and actually I think there's a charity portion of it. But I will walk past the room and kind of peek in the door and go, oh my God, there's a copy of HeroQuest stacked up there. But that's the most HeroQuest presence I ever see at the biggest gaming convention in the world. It's very strange.
That is kind of strange, but like you said, everybody, hey, I know somebody that had it. Like you said, it was still very pervasive back in the late 80s, early 90s. How about Advanced HeroQuest? Did you ever play that?
Never played it. No, I never had an opportunity.
Me neither.
To. No, I know I did have a chance. I do still have my copy of what's the big plastic mat that's like 6 foot by 6 foot Battle Masters.
Oh. Yeah, Battle Master. Yes, another one. Yeah.
I have my Battle Masters. It's not in the best of shape, but that's what you get when the board is the size of your living room, and to get to the pieces, you have to step over things. Those Lego moments that parents have. I had those with my Battle Masters characters, and so I did that. I did all that weird. If it had a miniature in a board game, I got it. Dark World. Dragon Strike.
Yes.
There was an X-Men board game that had a bunch of little plastic mini figures.
Yes, the little gray ones. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think I actually ended up getting that one because at the time I was a comic book geek, and if you buy the game and you send in a code with your receipt, you got the X-Men number 1 or X-Men number 5 Silver Edition. So that's why I bought that.
That's awesome.
So I have all of those, but none of them did what HeroQuest could do.
Yeah. There's just I think a special place in every person's heart for HeroQuest. It just has, like you said, it has that something. Lastly, I guess, did you paint your figures?
No, I left them all just. I'm not a figure painter. I'd rather apply paint to an illustration board than to a figure. And I've done 2 figures in my day. I think they were both Magic the Gathering metal miniatures. Especially after you see what some of like the people at your local game store, when they put their armies in the display case, like I can't.
It's serious. Yeah, I understand. I get it. Yeah. I didn't paint mine either. I just don't have that factor, that paint factor. I don't know. You either have it or you don't. I don't know that you can. I'm not an artist, so but just the figures, just a fun game. So I would recommend any listener out there, if you talk to somebody that has one, a system. Otherwise, the reboot's coming out in the fall of 21. Are we
going to be able to get that in stores? I would assume we are, aren't we?
I would assume so. From what I've read a little bit on the forums, like we're in on Facebook, it sounds like it's going to come out in the fall, and then Hasbro's probably going to put it in stores after that. That's my impression. So I think the masses will have a chance to get it again, and like you said, play it with your kids, and you can talk to them like you're talking about here. I play with my kids, and I tell them the stories about when I first got this and played with
Yep.
some friends in college, and blah blah.
Yep.
As talk like old men. Get off my yard.
Yep,
Don't touch my
exactly.
HeroQuest figures.
Don't mark
So,
in that quest book. That quest book is worth money.
yeah, I can sell that. Exactly. So it's just a fun game. You can break out with friends, and like you said, you've got a whole new community of gamers now at your house, like you said, and get to experience it all over again. So I'm looking forward to hearing. I definitely want to follow up with you, Dan, when you get through all of them. Barbarian and Elf Quest,
Yeah.
and let us know how it went.
Oh,
And
so much to look forward to.
I know it sounds like that's awesome, though. I to play from the trial all the way to I suppose is Elf Quest going to be the last one? I would assume. I'm not sure how
I think we're going to do
that's supposed to
Barbarian.
go.
For some reason, my gut tells me that the Barbarian Quest pack is going to be more difficult than the Elf Quest pack. So we're going to do Elf first. Well, we still have to get through Keller's Keep, and then Return of the Witch Lord, and then the Elf Quest pack, and then the Barbarian Quest pack. So we'll be busy for, I don't know, another year or two probably, as long as we can stick with it.
Yeah, that's the key. But it's fun. I don't think your friends will be disappointed at all. Hope they enjoy it.
They haven't been yet. They have been enjoying every minute of it. Yep.
Well, when you have handheld crossbows, I mean, you can't go wrong, right?
I mean, think about it. If you look at the armory, it doesn't say anything about it being a two-handed weapon. So
that's a good point.
One in each hand.
Yep. That's what's fun about Heroquest. It's very flexible.
That's right. Now I'm wondering though if they're going to close up those loopholes in the instruction booklet with the re-release.
I don't know. I haven't heard either way.
Okay with that.
Yeah. Your handheld crossbows might have to definitely be a strong house rule.
Yeah. All right, well, we're going to have to come to a vote. Hey guys, do we get to keep the 2 crossbow rule, or do we go to the new quest book? See, this is the thing about Magic. Rules are changing all the time. Drives me crazy. With Heroquest, gosh, it would be nice if we could just leave it alone.
Use your imagination. Come on.
Right, that's right.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. So maybe also too, I'd love to get some feedback from you and maybe some of your friends if we bring out the new HeroQuest 2.0, what they think of it. And I'm hoping they're going to have some expansions too down the road with the new release. And they do have the HeroQuest card game coming out. That's already out. I don't know if you saw that or not, but
I've seen it. I know nothing about it. I do enough with card games. Anytime a new card game comes out, I kind of just go, no, I'm a Magic player. I don't really need another one of these. Oh boy, no. Here we go.
I know. It came out of the blue too. I mean, all of a sudden people are like, hey, did you see this? Amazon has this HeroQuest card game. Hasbro made no announcement or anything. I mean, I guess what's the deal with Hasbro? You've been to Gen Con. I guess do they have a presence there or what?
They do in Wizards of the Coast, but even then it's only as a tournament organizing entity, and they outsource the organization of tournaments to somebody else. There's not really, they leave a lot of their hype type stuff for PAX. So I think September, is PAX. And so they have a bigger presence there, mainly because PAX, I think, typically happens in California, and with Wizards of the Coast being on that coast, they just kind of drive a bus of people down the street and do their PAX thing. So when it comes to Hasbro presence at Wizards or at Gen Con, it's minimal. Wizards of the Coast, before they were bought by Hasbro, did have a presence at Gen Con every year. They had this big castle in the middle of the convention center, and you could go buy the new D&D book, the new whatever game, along with some packs of Magic. But Hasbro these days, they're taking a new approach to things. I'm not sure if I like it as a Star Wars fan, not necessarily as a collector, but I do a lot of Star Wars podcast listening, and it's unanimous right now that Hasbro's really not doing well with taking care of their Star Wars collectors. So I just hope that the team that mans the HeroQuest ship knows how to float that ship, because we're a pretty hardcore bunch when you
Oh,
think about it. We don't want our HeroQuest messed with. So
No.
hopefully this is being made by the fans for the fans.
I get that impression. I think the people that are heading it up, they were like us. They were 12, 13, 14, whatever it was when they played it. And they're like, hey, I want to bring this back. And they did. But it just seemed odd that they just, like you said, with the reboot of the game itself, and then with this card game, it's just out of the blue. There was no, hey, in 2 weeks, we're launching the HeroQuest card game. Or it was just, here's the game. There you go. Buy it. It was really strange. I don't know the rationale behind that.
I don't think it was even COVID related. Like, there's a lot of things you just say, oh, it's because of the Rona, and everybody just sort of waves it off. But I don't think that had anything to do with this. I think this was meant to be, surprise, surprise, we're giving you HeroQuest back, and watching us all like whiplash, because we're going, wait, what?
When did this happen?
Okay.
Yeah, I was like, I'm not complaining, but it's just it's really weird that you would think a company is like Hasbro or would build some hype or something instead of just dropping it. That's kind of strange.
Yeah. As I said, I'm a veteran of Magic the Gathering. I've been playing for 26 years. So I've seen every marketing ploy that Wizards of the Coast has to offer. And when Hasbro took over, it was like they handle Magic kind of the way that Kevin Feige handles the Marvel Cinematic Universe. He's very strategic and careful about what is announced to the public, when it's announced to the public. Everything is really, really strategic. But HeroQuest was like guerrilla warfare. Surprise, here we are.
Yeah, exactly. It's just out of the blue. But again, not complaining, but I just hope that this strategy doesn't hurt the popularity of the game. But I don't know. We'll find out.
Hey, if the Kickstarters, annihilated it the way that I think they did, and then to the point where Hasbro is going to put it in stores, then I won't say that it's going to be Magic the Gathering level. But boy, the people that didn't know about HeroQuest before, even people our age, they're going to know about it. That's for sure.
Yeah, I have a feeling. I think it's going to take off and do very well. So cool. Well, hey, Dan, I appreciate it. I think we'll put a pin in this for now. But if you're up for it, I'd definitely love to keep in touch and let's talk some more about Gen Con or HeroQuest games in the future and all the things that are related to it.
Clearly, I know my share of geek stuff, so I'm willing any day you'll have me. I'm excited to join you.
All right. Well, hey, I appreciate it, Dan. I'll let you go. And
yeah, absolutely. Take care, man.
Dan's a great guy. He's awesome, very smart, as you can tell by the episode. Please go to covertnerd.net for all the information about this episode and previous episodes. Also in the show notes, I'll have links to Dan's contacts. So get in touch with him, ask him questions about gaming, especially Magic the Gathering. He's a big fan of that, Gen Con, things like that. And thank you for listening. I really appreciate it. Until next time, nerd it up.